Hi everybody, and welcome to Haiku with Bukasaya Shigawa, and welcome to my studio. I'm coming to you from the subarctic interior of Alaska, in a town called Fairbanks. This channel is going to be all about haiku poetry, tanka, senu, and haiga. So welcome, I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to another reading of Up the Mountain. This is number 188. Drifting wisps, flurry, wildland forest fires, ash, hell snow, our floating world, crying hot cinders. Now that was all about being in the woods during a forest fire, and the forest fire wasn't even close. It was probably a quarter-mile away, and it was going the opposite direction. The wind was blowing away from me, and you could feel the ash, because even though the wind's blowing this way towards you, it would blow your way and then go up several thousand feet, come back down on me when the wind is at ground level headed towards you, but above it's pushed back and comes back down. There's quite the sensation to have ash fall on you, and then also after a while you realize the wind's changing. The fire's getting closer. Could be someplace you don't realize on a mountainside. And then call it crying hot cinders, because you'd have this really thin gear on, let's say a long sleeve shirt that's made to be sun repellent, and very thin so you can sweat through it. Rain can go and it'll wick off of you. Rain can come and wick off of you, but when you have material that's thin, or even like this top I used to like to wear a lot also when it wasn't as warm, the cinders would go right through this like it was going through paper or tissue paper, and it would kind of sting you, and you go, ooh, you're feeling it all over your body, and you realize that's cinders. This is a tanka, and let's look at the syllable count. Drifting wisps, flurry, wildland forest fires, ash, hell snow. Okay, so in the haiku part of that, you've got 6 or 5. I look at it as 5 wisps. You've got 5, 6, and 2. So this is an example of how a haiku doesn't fit into the short, long, short. Remember, sometimes it can be short, long, long, or long, short, long. In this case, it's almost long, long, short. And that's okay. Remember that 575 is just a template, a floating template for the maximum number of syllables, which is 17, but really you want to get it more down to 3, 5, 3, or 5, 13 syllables, 10 syllables would be nice. So this is 13 to 14, and it's long, long, short, which again fits into that template, that floating template, because why? It doesn't fit into the short, long, short, or short, short, long, or long, short, short, but it does fit into the 17 syllables, so that still qualifies as a haiku. And this is how poets write haikus today, is that line arrangement isn't the antiquated way that we were all taught and we all learned. It's just now, think of it as a floating framework or template. And then what makes it a tanka is the 2 lines at the end, our floating world, crying hot cinders. That can mean a lot of things, and different things to different cultures. In Japan, that means one thing. Japan, traditionally, especially pre-Meiji or Meiji era, floating world has a certain connotation to it. And then when you put hot cinders behind that, it goes along with that old meaning of floating world. And it also, the haiku should be able to stand on its own, so let's read it just as a haiku. Drifting wisps flurry, wildland forest fires, ash, hell snow. Okay, that stands right there. Now you add the two long lines at maximum seven in syllable count. Our floating world, crying hot cinders. So it complements, it goes with, yet separates from the haiku and leads into the next line of haiku you could have if you were having a renga, if you will.